Hello everybody, BrioS here. Today we are looking at one of the classic builds of the game which has been around quite a while. Of course I gave it a 30-60 twist to adapt it to the modern day battlefield. And of course this build is built upon the wonderful 55-ton initial battle mech you see here, the ShadowHawk with its high mounted ballistic in the left torso. And this variant is one of the most popular variants. It's the 2H because of its wonderful hardpoints, high mounts, and a global 15% cooldown, which is just amazing. You don't really see that on the modern day mechs. But surprisingly, you don't see this mech often on the battlefield, and that's because people have kind of forgotten about it, I think, because it's one of the older mechs of the game. And this build is of course the classic LB10 and 3 SRM4 build, all in the torsos and the head, with no weapons in the arms. You can strip the arms of armor. We have 4 tons of ammunition for the SRM4s and 3 tons of the ammunition for the LB10, and 3 jump jets for a bit of pop starting capability. To adapt it to the modern day battlefield, we are putting a modern, well kind of modern anyway, light fusion 280 engine which gives it a speed of 86.2, very nice. I like mobility, as you guys know, with that speed tweak skill. And a light ferrofibrous armor gives it a bit more tonnage because hey, why not, you can have light fusion nowadays. And even though it only has 10 double heat sinks, it runs pretty cool with skills and all these weapons. So just to take note, I know there's another variant. I know somebody will say you can put an AC20 on it. I am fully aware of this, but I'm getting the tonnage, the savings from tonnage by using an LB10 to have a bit more speed, which is kind of my style. As I always say, adapt builds to suit your play style. So anyway, the AC20 SRMs is another combination you could do, but I'm using LB10 for range and crit seeking with 3 SRM4s. Of course, nice mobility. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go on to the skills that I am using for this build. For this particular build, I'm heaping on the firepower skills because of the mix of missiles and ballistics. 15 SPs, all over the place as you can see. I actually am trying to maximize cooldown, because as I mentioned, this chases has a 15, or rather this variant has a 15% cooldown quirk. So I'm trying to get the maximum 12% from skills to give it a total of a 27, yes, 27% cooldown with skills and quirks. So all those weapon systems fire really fast. And to increase the ammunition, I got 2 nodes of magazine capacity for the LBs and 2 nodes of missile rack to increase the ammo for the SRM4s. 1 missile spread quirk, or rather skill, reduces the spread just by a bit. Actually, I got it mainly for linking. But with SRM4s, it's not so bad. And you just want to fire them point blank anyway, so that's fine. If for other skills, we have a 10% range. That's good because weapons are kind of short range with the SRMs. And a 10.5% heat because I want to go in and brawl. And one of the most important things in brawling is to have a sustained DPS and be pretty cool, because you don't want to shut down in the middle of a brawl. 9% velocity from the velocity skills just makes those weapons fire a bit faster, so you can fire them and get into cover quickly. Yeah, a brawler with no survival skills? Well, I'm trying something a bit different because I'm using the SPs elsewhere, like in firepower. And of course, 16 SPs in mobility for the 3 nodes of speed tweak, and the XLD cell turn rate bonuses of 10.5, 14 and 24%. This is my preferred skill tree for mobility. You could go left side for the torso, but I go the right side for XLD cell. Operations, 19 SPs. I don't know why I forgot this, but I guess you could put it in later. 0 for sensors and 6 for auxiliary. In fact, let's get rid of this. This actually makes the spread of the strikes tighter. I actually have 2 strikes, but you can live without it. Some people actually prefer it because with this you have a larger radius for the strikes, easier to hit the enemy. But I like it tight. Because that maximizes the potential for firepower. And let's do that. Yep. Fixing that little boo-boo there. Apply changes? Yes, total cost 1. So that's it. That's the classic ShadowHawk 2H build with the LB and SRM's fast-firing, very cool running brawler. With the light fusion engine, you can move a lot faster at 86.2. Previously, it was just standard engine. So anyway, let's get down to the battlefield, point this towards the enemy, and let's go brawling. So let's go. For the first match, it's a match on HPG Manifold, and as you can see, my ShadowHawk started in Bravo Lance, which means I have to run, because Bravo Lance spawn is really bad, and you get pressed really early. As you can see, there's a cicada already harassing my Lance, and I'm going to use my fast-firing 27% cooldown bonus LB to chase him away, allowing my heavy max in my Lance to move up like this Warhammer, and there's a Marauder behind me. because Bravolans you should always run to join the rest of the team. And once they're safe, I'm gonna take the top and try to lay down some fire with my brawly weapons.
Echo 4, we got context. Charlie left torso.
So cutting to the top to target the Echo 4 ramp.
We have the top. We just need to reinforce it.
Yeah, good thing about with this build with taking the top is that the high mounted ballistic with just a bit of jump jets, you can shoot downwards.
Delta, Annihilator.
So maximizing the advantage of this build. The Annihilator is really violence, wreck and ACs, but so is my strike.
Echo 5 ram, loads.
Falling down straight onto the Echo 4 ram, doing quite a bit of damage with my strikes. One target right below me. Enemy team is falling back a bit.
Hotel right torso, catapult.
Control of the ramp is really important in this map. Not really the top, but the ramps. Hydro? I meant to say H is isolated, so gonna go in brawling because that's what my build does. It's a brawler. Right torso's caught, but all this wreck fire is throwing my aim off a bit. Can't really see. I think there's always too much screen blinding and shaking with Rex. But Rex kinda lack the focus damage, so spreading it easily. And I think it's gonna go down. Just a matter of punching him in the face and taking him
Delta
out.
left torso.
So one target here isolated. Delta 3-1 right now. Gonna jump in behind because he's
Pushing
distracted.
Delta. Request support.
Yeah, he decided to focus on my area. Took out his left torso, half this firepower. Running hot because I'm jumping. Forgot to override.
Work back to the top.
But I have friends. He doesn't.
Charlie,
wait a minute.
Charlie.
Suddenly,
torso.
suddenly a rifleman, brawler build, dual LB20s. Rarely violent, but I took out his left torso. Shielding, and suddenly I shut down. But thankfully I have friends, so they take him out easily.
Thanks, Steel Mill. Bravo. Delta 5, Delta 6, 7-3.
So it's time for this murderer ball of mediums
Kill
to
those
move,
above first.
to move up. 8-3. One of those matches the enemy team just suddenly
Like
vaporized.
Echo.
One fresh marauder over there. Unfortunately, I'm not so fresh due to brawling in the Annihilator with the brawly Rifleman 2C. I'm pretty done, badly hurt. Jumping down, found a cicada. Very fresh, but the heavy in front of him is drawing his attention, showing me his ass, and I like ass, or at least I liked his ass. It was tasty. So, suddenly a cicada dropped down. Big mistake by him. Because the LB and the SRMs do a lot.
Excellent work.
Last
That's a wall,
target,
dude.
sub 63 in his ER large laser cicada. I bet you it is. Thankfully, he's jumping down. No point delaying it. So thank you, sub 63. Can I get the kill? Oh, I missed that shot. But easy win. Sadly, it's a storm for the enemy. 12-3. Lots of damage in this build. Brawling all the way, especially farming that catapult. So let's take a look at the damage. 3 kills, 1027 damage, 4 KMDDs, 2 solo kills. Very violent match. Granted, the strikes did quite a bit of damage, but with the rapid firing LB and SRMs, it just wrecks the enemy. And a match score of 615, very good. So let's move on to the next match. Alright, so here we are on the second match of this showcase, and it's on Mining Collective, a very nice brawly map for this nice violence brawler. And with this kind of map suiting this build, you want to move up quickly using the multiple levels and the terrain to shield yourself from enemy detection, so you can go in fast and start brawling early, maximizing your damage output. And talking about multiple levels, of course max jump jets really do well on maps like this, but unfortunately even with 3 jump jets on this ShadowHawk, it doesn't jump so well. That's because it's the heaviest of the medium class, the 55 tonner, and the jump jet capability drops as you increase in the tonnage. And interestingly enough, as a 55 tonner, it jumps worse than a 60 tonner, maybe even a 65 tonner, because those are the lightest of the heavies. And I feel that is something PGI should fix, normalize the jump jet capability so that a 55 tonner like this ShadowHawk can jump as well or even better than a 60 tonner. But anyway, that aside, it still can pop tart a bit, but not as well as you would like to think. So let's get down to some violence and let's get brawling.
Watch out for Warhammer Bravo.
Yeah, that Warhammer is just charging straight into our line. His CT's open.
Looks like our assaults are pushing Delta 4.
Yeah, the assaults are pushing him.
Whatever it is, support the assaults.
So our assaults are actually pushing Delta line, which is on the opposite flank. So I'm gonna move there to support them.
Keep pulling back, keep pulling back. Atlas, pull back into
The LBs have a bit of range, so gonna do some suppressive fire with them. Now that my buddies are here, like this guy on my left, it's time to push. ShadowHawk trying to reposition, taking lots of damage, or some damage at least, from my fast-firing LBs. And what's this? A Warhammer Bravo. So trying to hide behind the container, but I can see him. I can see you, Bravo. You're caught. My LB has a nice angle on him. My SRMs, well, half of them will hit. The remaining half will hit the container. Kind of a waste. But he's in trouble. He knows it. Mistakes were made. He tries to make a run for it, straight into the assaults. Yep. MechWarrior is an unforgiving game.
Could use some help at the top. UAV up, Echo 4.
Yep, kind of alone. Pop-starting slowly. Yeah, one hell spawn. Hasn't noticed me.
Yep, Max at the top.
Left arm blows off, but it's a shield arm, so I can afford to lose it. Falling back because 2 targets there and I'm kind of alone here. Claire comes in. One guy behind me targeting me, I know. So like I said, the jump capability not good,
Hellfire, side torsos. Pile in the top. Assaults, you gotta move in.
but it's better than nothing. So repositioning to this flank, trying to flank this enemy force. There should be somebody on top here.
Echo 5, streak Hellspawn.
Yeah, but kind of got distracted by that guy there.
Pile in Delta 4.
So few targets at range. Good thing about this build, the LB10
Alpha
has,
linebackers hurt.
the LB10 has range. And here they are pushing
Ramp,
up that,
Delta 4, Cicada and a heavy.
pushing up the ramp.
And an assault, Delta 4 ram guys.
Pop starting with the LB and SRM for some nice splash damage there. One archer doesn't notice me. With a 27% cooldown, I can fire pretty quickly. Right torso open. Let's see if I can
Push golf.
pop tart.
Right torso, Archer.
Take out his right torso. Yeah, the archer's in trouble. He tries to run, but I think I can get the kill. Yep, just nice.
Marauder India, push him. Move
As you,
forward.
as you can see, the team is pushing. So let's take tip of the spear action again. One Marauder 2.
Let's go, India.
The friendly mediums are pressing hard. I want this left torso. But I notice if you can see,
There's also a Fafnir stealth.
yeah, there's a stealth Fafnir there. Doesn't really appear on heat vision, so you gotta be really careful. Almost blundered into him. But I think
Fafnir.
he's kind
Same
of
spot.
he's kind of distracted, so gotta do lots of damage with that 27% cooldown.
Cicada help me.
Calling for a bit of help because face timing of Fafnir is always a bad idea. That was a interesting kill straight between the Cicada's legs. So generating lots of heat, getting kills though. Time to shut down. This mech is generally cool, but in sustained fights like in that situation, you can generate lots of heat. Oh, I'm still cooking here. Welcome to the BrioS barbecue. Slowly cooking my groin and other parts of my body. But I live! 9-3. Tip of the spear action, rushing in, brawling with the Centurion and the Fafnir. Wanted to get the Marauder 2, but I think it died. So 10-3, just a matter of mop up now. I'm surprised that it didn't get cooked because I was overheating and my right torso blew off. So 10-3, there's a guy over there. Staying at range because I don't want to go in too early. I'm really badly hurt. Yeah, it's a Panther. Hex. 228 die. Let's see whether I can secure the kill. Moving in slowly on my LB10. Gonna rely on my LB10 to
The other
do
one's a AFK.
some splash damage. He's the last active one. Other than him is an AFK somewhere. 3-year large Panther. Interesting. Oh, that's the last AFK. He is AFK. Cicada. I just said the AFK is AFK. But anyway, let's lay in some damage. Get some free damage. Nah, Ripper gets the kill. And Havelock
Thank you for
kills.
the win.
Kills Hex. And that's a win. Surprisingly, I survived that cooking lesson for you guys. And I think this was a decent damage. Managed to brawl with some big guys at short range. Always good. So 789 damage, minimal team damage, 3 kills, 1 solo, a decent performance I would like to say, and I had fun. So wonderful match score of 5-4-3, top of the whole game, and all this in an old school ShadowHawk. Old but still good.